Talk about June being Men's Health Month, and we wanted to highlight a men's health concern. It's being termed bigorexia, and while this is not a clinical eating disorder, doctors are seeing a rise in this condition in men.
That's right, and here to tell us what bigorexia is and how to spot it in a friend or family member is Dr. Rachel Engelhart, the clinical director at Eating Recovery Center. Welcome, thank you so much for being here.
To have you.
Yes, so bigorexia, tell us what that means and what it describes.
So bigorexia is a term that is generally attributed to males who are striving to have more robust body parts, things like pecs, arms, just appear bigger, stronger, that kind of thing. So they're putting their emphasis on building those body parts.
Does this impact a lot of men? Who all suffers from it, it sounds like?
So we're absolutely seeing an uptick in eating disorders among men. And I would say I work at Eating Recovery Center in Bethesda, and we're seeing a pretty significant increase in the men that we're treating. So really, it's something that it can impact men and women. We typically think of eating disorders being a women's illness, but it's not. It really affects both men and women and those who, identify as non-binary.
Yeah, so it's like, it's not just your average I'm concerned about how I look, it's kind of a little bit more. And then in terms of seeking treatment, it seems like men are less likely, is that right?
It seems like it's more normalized for men to have these ideas about clean eating or this hyperfixation on their body parts or spending time at the gym. But truly, my explanation to people is that if it is interfering with normal life, if you notice that your loved one is spending time in the gym rather than with the family or doing the activities that they typically love, then that's where we know it's really a concern and something that everyone should seek support around.
Yeah, not moderation at that point, right?
Correct.
It's being taken to the extreme. You have some statistics for eating disorders for males. What are some of those?
So it's that 1 in 3 men will experience an eating disorder, and that, that it's something that men can experience as well. And just that there is a large statistic that many men will experience an eating disorder in their lifetime. And so it's something to be aware of and really to have a low threshold in terms of looking for support around.
Yeah.
If you feel like there's a family member or friend that is suffering from that, what are the kinds of things we should specifically look for?
So I'm always a big fan of just being curious, asking your loved one, what's going on? I've noticed X or Y. Tell me about that. What's been happening for you? So trying to get in more information around that. But of course, skilled professionals are really important to utilize. So whether it's a physician, a therapist, a dietitian, a school counselor, really encouraging your loved one to talk to someone that they trust and to get support from a medical professional or a mental health professional.
What does that treatment look like often when you're working with people? Especially if maybe someone's hearing this, they're like, this is actually me, but I don't know that I want to go through that kind of treatment. What is it like for them?
So it could really vary. So, everyone's an individual, everyone has individual needs, and it could be working with a therapist one-on-one to understand what is contributing to those feelings around the hyperfixation around body image. It could also be, maybe if it's more intense, going to like a higher level of care, so like a treatment center where maybe you spend like several hours in the evening, or maybe you go for the entirety of a day, or maybe it's so severe that you need even like a residential level of treatment. And honestly, there is no shame in getting the support that you need wherever someone is. They deserve to get the treatment that they need.
Yeah, and it is Men's Mental Health Month, and you talked about the shame and the stigma. Why is a month like this so important?
It's so important to give men an opportunity to just shine a light that it's normal to struggle. It's normal to have issues with mental health. We're all humans. We all struggle with something. And so really trying to normalize that it's okay if you're noticing that something is challenging, and whether it means it's like a full-fledged you need support, or maybe it's something you just want to be more mindful of and think about that relationship to body image or food, and consider that maybe you want to make some changes.
I've been doing this show for a half decade and we've never covered this topic, so I feel like this is important that we're at least talking about it for people out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me.
This was great information. And for more information and resources and support for all eating disorders, head to eatingrecoverycenter.com.